Well, hello, ladies. How are you?
Good.
Hey,
Hi,
Kim.
hi. How are you? I'm so super excited. This is such a big day. Hello, everyone. My name is Kimberly Sumter, and welcome to another installment of our Sister Survival series. And today we are going to amplify sisters with voices. I have three amazing emerging podcasters that I want to introduce you to. We're going to hear all about their podcasts, all about their missions, what they hope to do with their messages. They'll talk about their journey of becoming podcasters and all of those good things. So, are you ready, ladies?
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody's ready? Okay. So, let me just kind of give you a little bit of a backstory. So, as you know, I am a podcaster. I'm the host of the Sistahs Connect podcast, and I actually started teaching and doing some coaching back in December for those who wanted to start their own podcasts. And I was doing those events live. It was really nice having that physical contact and creating those, and having those classes. And I was only able to do one class. And this particular class was actually supposed to be a live class, but obviously we couldn't do that because of the pandemic. So I had to pivot. So, this is a part of the Podcasting Essentials for Beginners course that I created. And I quickly created it because I needed to pivot. I couldn't sit and wait, and I wanted to continue on with teaching these courses. So, these ladies are the first for the online courses who not only did they enter into the 30 days to launch challenge, but they were up and alive in Apple Podcasts within 21 days. So everybody give yourselves a round of applause on that. Yes, yes, yes. So congratulations. All right. So
Awesome.
now this is so awesome. So I want to introduce everyone to you. The first is Angela V. McKnight. Her podcast is called the Thank Her Now podcast, and she's going to tell you all about it. And then there's also Maylani Benjamin of the Aesthetics and Flow podcast, which I love that name. She's going to tell you about that as well. And then Samiko Hartley with the Natural to Natural podcast. So welcome, ladies.
Welcome. Thanks
Welcome.
for having us.
All right. So we will start with you, Samiko. Tell us a little bit about the Natural to Natural podcast.
Okay, so I am a natural hair care expert. I've been in the natural hair care industry for over 25 years. I've had a very successful natural hair care salon. And so this podcast is an extension of my experience and my passion and my love for natural hair. And basically, I put this podcast together because it's dedicated to bringing women together to connect, to share, and to really cultivate a love for our natural hair. There's so much information out there, and women are confused. They don't know where to go. And so I want to be that expert that they can come to get real information, organic information, and then be able to share their story, because we all have a story about our natural hair, right?
Yes,
I know you
yes.
ladies relate.
Yeah.
And so just bringing women together to be able to share that story to help other women along their journey, but also having an expert to guide them along their journey.
Nice. Very nice. I love it. And you, Maylani, tell us about the Aesthetics and Flow podcast.
Yes. So the Aesthetics Flow podcast. I basically created this podcast because of my love for beauty and skincare. Um, the podcast is about building women's confidence and helping them to appreciate themselves and hold themselves at a higher standard. So by giving them these practical tips and having some co-hosts, I feel like we can really help them to take the time to build their self-confidence. So
Very nice.
I'm really excited about it, and I just hope that everyone enjoys it.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. And all of you have done an amazing job at putting your content together. So when they hear your trailer episode, they're just gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, I just can't wait!" So yes, it's a dope podcast. And then Angela, tell us about the Thank Her Now podcast.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on with these two beautiful ladies.
You're
So
welcome.
I just want to give just a little backstory about Think Her Now. So last year, during Women's History Month, I made some I made some flyers with women, just thanking them for all that they have been doing. And then this year, so the end of last year, I came up with the concept. I'm like, you know what? We need to thank ourselves. Why not? We need to toot our own horn. We need to be our own cheerleader. So I'm like, how can I get this word out? So then, you came say, hey, I'm going to do this podcast training, and I'm like, okay, I want to get into it. So the concept of Think Her Now podcast is to celebrate women and to inspire women to think themselves. Why not? We need to be able to think ourselves everything that we do, because we are our own fan, and that's what makes us move forward in life. So we need to be able to take that time and think ourselves. Some people say, oh no, you should let everybody else think you. No, you need to be thinking yourself first. So that's what a podcast. So I'm gonna have guests on, but I'm also gonna have tools and tips and resources, and just encourage people, women, to just think themselves. And I bet you they are going to feel excellent, and they're going to grow, and they're going to be their authentic self.
I love that. I love it. And with all of us, we all, even though we are, talking about different things and our audiences are different, we are all empowering women. That's the goal of what we are trying to do, whether it's through skincare, hair care, thanking yourself, connecting women together, which is a really beautiful thing. So, Samiko, tell me why you chose to use podcasting as a platform to get that message out to women in the natural hair realm and us naturalisters. Why a platform using podcasting?
Okay, so for the past few months since being quarantined, right, I realized that I also had to pivot. And I've also been on this search to really find that gift that has been planted inside of me, that God has given me, my purpose. And I realized that it was motivational speaking. And so my goal was to work at, motivating women to love themselves, right, to love their hair, to own their natural. But being quarantine, I couldn't do that here. So I was like, well, how can I still motivate women? And I remember you asking me a few months ago about, hey, what about podcasts? And I was like, no, I'm not ready. I don't think so. And then I just thought about it. And I was like, why not podcasting? Why not give it a chance? Why not give it a try? And come to find out, I absolutely love it. It's perfect. And I am so looking forward to, working with women and connecting with women on their journey to just living their best life, through mind, body, and hair.
Right. And who do you feel, Samiko, is your ideal listener? What is that perfect person? What is the person that is going to get all the value that they need from your podcast?
Right. So whether it's a woman who's thinking about going natural, whether she's in the process of transitioning, whether she's been natural for years and still haven't figured out, what products work best for her hair, if she's someone just who want to share her journey to encourage other women, but women who want to be truly educated and not just getting information from anywhere, but they really want to connect with other women and they really want professional guidance on their journey. And just to really learn to really love and embrace and own their natural hair.
All right. So I'm sure
Kim,
you have
can I
that
say
audience.
something?
Yes, you can.
Kim.
Yes.
So, Samiko, I've been natural since 2010. And I must say, one phone call with you have really empowered me. So I'm looking forward to continuing to listen to your podcast. And I knew you were, expert with hair care, but the 10-minute conversation that we had, you really helped me. So I just want to say right now, thank you, girl.
Wow.
Yes,
thank you
yes.
so much.
And the beautiful thing about this is, and for all of us, with you especially, Samiko, is that we have a worldwide reach. It's not just the people that are in your city or the adjacent city. It is worldwide, where people get to listen to your voice. They get to connect with you. They get to connect with your message. And you're going to be helping so many people across the world, which is so amazing about the platform with podcasting. So, Melani, not to get you
Yes.
nervous or anything like that, because remember, it's just the four of us talking, right? So,
Yes.
tell me why you decided, because you reached out to me and you told me that you wanted to start a podcast, but what made you decide to start this podcast? And how did you come up with the name of Aesthetics and Flow? I love that name. It's so dope.
Okay. Thank you. So first, I had the idea of creating a podcast like 2 years ago, and like I recorded like one trailer like on Anchor, and I got too afraid. I got too afraid to like put my work out there. So then I was like, oh, I'm gonna start a YouTube. But then I was like, no, I'm kind of shy. So I didn't want to be seen on a video too much. So then I was like, I can just go back to podcasting. And literally the day that I thought about it, and I was like, the only person I know that, has a podcast, because I listen, of course, was you, Kim. So I texted you, and I'm so happy because that same day is when the workshop started. So I just felt like everything aligned, and that's how, I ended up connecting with you and being in this awesome group. And then Aesthetics and Flow, initially it was called Live Boldly. And I just kept thinking, like, what do I want to call this? Like, what? I have to call it something else because there was already a Live Boldly podcast. So I knew that I'm an esthetician, and how could I incorporate skincare or aesthetics and with beauty all together? And I just felt like using the word aesthetics would draw attention. And then, and flow is because I'm always saying to people, like, I align with the stars, or something align with the stars, or we aligned. So it's just a flow. It's just a flow.
Nice.
So I just came up with that word, but
I love it. I love it. Aesthetics and Flow could be a whole lot of things. You can do a whole lot of different podcasts with that name. I just love that name. And, that's a part of your story. That's a part of your backstory. So you have to make sure that you let people know the meaning behind that beautiful name for your podcast. And Angela, like, it seems so obvious. Thank her now, because we never thank ourselves, right? Ever. We thank everybody else. We've had everybody else on the back. We give everybody else kudos. We take care of everybody else, but we don't do that for ourselves. So tell me about that. Tell me why that was important for you to create this podcast. Thank her now.
So every time I'm on a plane, the stewardess says, put your mask on first before you put the person sitting next to you mask on. And when I'm talking and doing talks, I always say that. And it just clicked. Like, listen, I have to thank myself. I need other people to thank themselves. I have no problems in thinking myself. I want people to know that it's okay. There are many people who say, oh, you let your actions speak, let your actions speak. But you know what? You need to be your own motivator, because those people, they're not with you each and every day. You have to be a motivator to get up the day, to start your day. You have to be a motivator to say, all right, I can do this. But when you look in that mirror, it's like doing self-affirmations, like, I am beautiful, I am bold. You should be looking in the mirror and saying, thank you for completing that report. Thank you for jumping off the ledge and getting those 2 clients. Thank you for, making dinner. For each and everything that you do, you should be thanking yourself, because that just fills your heart, fills your soul, and it makes you a better person. And then you don't look for what other people will say about you. Right. Their opinion will not matter. So I want 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds to look in the mirror and begin to thank themselves and feel great about who you are. God created us, or your higher power created you. You are unique. And thanking yourself is just part of, like, if you're praying, or if you're going shopping, or if you're changing your clothes, it should flow. It should be part of your day, thanking yourself multiple times throughout the day for a great job that you have done. And when everyone else thank you, that's just a compliment. That's like a supplement, but you should be thanking yourself. And the name Thank Her Now, it's that her is you. So when you hear my podcast, you will continuously hear that. The her is you. So I'm speaking to you, her, so that you can thank yourself.
I love that.
Well,
Did
Kim,
you
can
want to
I say
say
something? I
something?
want to say something to
Absolutely.
Angela.
I saw it coming out. I saw it coming,
Look, I'm
Samiko.
coming right back for you, girl. I'm coming right
Yes.
back for you. Well, we can tell that you thank yourself often
Yes.
because all the stuff that you do, you are
Yes.
such a phenomenal woman. I mean, you do so much, Angela. So I
Mhm.
know you got to be thanking yourself because that's what keeps you going and to be able to do all that you do for your community, for other women, for entrepreneurs. Like, it's just amazing. So thank you for all
Yes.
that you do.
Yes.
Seriously.
Thank you. And I
Yes.
do thank myself. I get up in the morning now, I'll be like, oh, thank you. Thank you. You ready for the
Yes.
day? Thank you.
Yes. And it's all good. And I love that because we're changing our mindset. We're changing the narrative within first. And that's
Hmm.
so important. And you and I had a conversation, Samiko, last week,
Mhm.
about some things. And I think it's so important. I think all of us have an opportunity to really empower not just other women who are listening to the podcast, but also now we've built a community within
Yes.
our own circle of being podcasters. And that was something that, I constantly said, call your neighbor, we're going to build community here first before we can start building community outside of what it is that we're trying to do. And that is important because we really need each other.
Mhm.
I do want to read out a comment from Krishan. Hey, Krishan. She said that I was there too, but now I'm back 7 years later. Don't wait. The world needs to hear your voices. And I am
Mhm.
thinking that what she is saying that she's actually going to be starting her own podcast as well. And I know she has something
Yes.
amazing on the horizon
Woo, woo.
because Krishan is all of that. And then also Deetris Powell says that this is powerful. So thank you so much, Deetris, for coming in. Also, Jenny is in here as well. So if you want to get your comments read and you want us to see that it's you who's giving us the comment, make sure you go above this video. If you're inside of Facebook, there's going to be a link that says Facebook or streamyard.com/Facebook. Hit on that blue button and you are going to grant access for Facebook to be able to read your comments. And then you are going to be here where we can talk to you one-on-one as well. All right, ladies. So now let's talk about the whole process. All right. So we have these great ideas. Everybody wants to start a podcast. Yes, I want to start a podcast. But then the work begins, right? So tell me, Samiko, what was it like starting out in the beginning? Was it hard? Was it easy? Was it frustrating? Like, what was the kind of feeling that you had in order to build from literally from A to Z this concept to now an actual live podcast?
To be honest, I think the thought of like going into unfamiliar territories is was a little bit overwhelming because it's something
Mhm.
completely new for me. I had no idea what to expect. So I think that made it overwhelming, but
Mhm.
you have spoiled us. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Seriously, you have literally spoiled us. Because now that the 30 days is over, I'm like, what am I going to do?
It's true. It's so true.
Oh my
Seriously, like,
goodness. That's
you
too
have
funny.
literally held our hand from day one to it's so much so that we completed before the 30 days. Like,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
know that I would not have been able to accomplish what I've accomplished on my own. And just the support, like having us, like being in that group and having each other cheer each other on. And I'm saying, oh, Milani did this. Oh, let me get on this. Oh, Angela did this.
Mhm.
Let me get on this. Like, it was so amazing. Like, it was so awesome. And I feel like you've given me everything that I need to be successful. Like everything I need. And then some, honestly.
Well,
Nice. Well,
Samiko,
thank you.
Yes.
Samiko, I was like in a little competitive, like when Kim would like post a poster of Miali doing this or Samiko doing that. I'm like, I gotta get on the grind because she
Yes.
has to post my picture.
Yes. Angela would
Good
send me,
conversation. Yes.
I would get audio snippets and all kinds of things at 2:30 in the morning. And I don't know who was crazier, me because I was up to look at them or Angela because she was doing it. So yes. And I love that because it was a healthy kind of competition
Yes.
and it helps to drive you when you see that other people are moving forward. So it
Yes.
kind of helps to drive you. So tell me, Melanie, what was the most challenging part of the whole process?
The challenging part. Let me see. Um, I think just, I think for me it was my messaging at first, because I
Mhm.
thought it was this, like I thought it was going to be about like achieving your goals and things like that, and then I kind of had to like just do some more work and think about really what I wanted to say, how I wanted to encourage people and uplift them, and was it authentic. And I didn't feel like, even though those are some things that are great, I didn't feel like it was like the authentic piece. So I really had to sit and do the work for that. And you definitely were helpful, because I had all these other ideas and you're like, okay, wait, let's just zero in. So I love
Right,
it. I love
right,
it.
right. And the reason why is because you have to know who you're talking to. You can't talk to everyone. And I think we all try to do that. Even people, us as business owners, we
Mhm.
want everybody to be our customer because we just want to sell, sell, sell. But we have to understand that not everyone is meant for what it is that you are providing and putting out into the universe. Being very niche is a sweet thing, is a good thing. So, Angela, tell me the thing that you loved the most about this challenge. What was the most fun thing that
The
you've done?
most the most fun thing that I did was, wow, so many. I just loved it all. The most fun thing I did was my video, the
Hmm.
trailer. I did like 50 takes of it, but I
Hmm.
still did it.
Yes.
I had to hold the camera the right way and
Yes.
say the right words. Had to remember what I had to say. But that was I love doing that. And then actually giving it to you, and then you doing what you need to do, and then sending it back and
Hello.
listening.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
what?
Yes.
I was like, that's
Yeah.
me? That's my voice?
Oh my goodness, I've got to tell you a story. I'm sorry. It's a story on
Okay.
that one.
Yes.
I so my daughter is my little critic, and she's 13, Mimi, right? So I recorded my trailer, and I thought it sounded good, and I gave it to Angela, and I mean, excuse me, I gave it to Kim, and then she emailed me back what she did, and I played it, and Mimi was like, "You didn't do that. That
Oh my goodness. See? Yes.
don't sound like
Yes.
what you did, Mommy."
But I have to give you some of the credit though, Samiko. You provided me with the voice. I just enhanced a little bit of what it was, and it's all good.
You
So
made
yeah,
me
but
sound like I was a professional podcaster.
Yes.
Okay, I was like, I'm ready.
but you
Yeah, so when you
guys
when you say
are.
that she held our
Yes.
hand, Kim,
You
I
were.
can't thank you enough.
I know
You
you did.
you are an amazing coach.
Mhm.
You made
Thank
our
you.
dun like powerful.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. But it was so much fun for me too. It was fun for me to be able to see each of you individually. I knew that you all coming in had a very clear message, and sometimes you just need to know how to streamline it a little bit. And that was pretty much my job because you are the voice of your podcast. You're the voice, you're the messenger. And, my job I felt was just to kind of help you to be more direct and more clear and more succinct with it, and then helping you with the technical part as well. So that all was a whole lot of fun. I truly enjoyed it. I learned a lot in the process too. And Krishan is laughing at you, Samigo. I think she's laughing at your daughter, laughing at you, actually, which that story was so funny when you told me that. Um, but what do you feel if you look now from where you are right now to 6 months from now? Samiko, what do you hope will happen because of your podcast between now and the next 6 months? What's your goal? That's going to be your short-term goal for now.
Okay.
What would be the thing that you would absolutely love to happen if you just kept moving forward?
To really just build a community of women who are embracing their natural beauty and really owning it. I think for women, our hair is our crown. Like if our hair is not right, we're not right, right? Just
Mhm,
period.
mhm.
But a lot of us haven't owned our natural beauty. A lot of us are looking at other women and wishing and desiring we had hair like theirs, or we're going to YouTube and we're looking at that YouTuber or influencer who have this thick, beautiful hair, but we may not ever have that hair. So how do we own, embrace, and accept what God has blessed us with, and then we make that work for us? And so my
Right.
mission is to build a community of women who are owning their natural. And I'm here to guide them every step of the way. Like that is my gift that God has given me to give to women of color, because he didn't make a mistake when he blessed us with this hair. He did not
Mm-hmm.
make a mistake, and he gave us everything we needed to take care of it. Right. So I'm just here to help, women around the world just, you know,
Just own their natural.
own their natural.
On
Yeah.
their natural. So
Yes.
anybody can answer this question. You could all answer this. But community is really important. All of us have said something about community. In what way are you going to integrate or have your listeners feel as though they're a part of your podcast?
So I have Think Her Now group. So I have that. So I have about 130 people that's there. So I'm building that community, and I will continuously invite podcast listeners to join the group so that they can be a part of that community. And what I want to see in the next 6 months, I want to see on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, women thanking themselves. I want to see that, right? Because I don't see that right now. So even in the group, in my community, I want people to feel great to say, thank me. It's okay to thank
Right.
me. So I want to integrate the community from out to come within, and then have them build their own community, right?
Nice.
That's what I'm looking for.
And what about you, Melanie? What are you going to do to kind of integrate your audience, your listener into the podcast?
I mean, I believe I really want to just hone in on building authentic content onto my Instagram, and while building, a community on that platform, I want to know that I am helping women implement some self-care, and they're building their self-confidence, and they're really working on loving themselves. So besides growing the Instagram platform, I want to try to build my subscriber list, and also convert these people into coming into my door and me helping them with their skincare.
Nice. Because that's the end at the end of the day, just to be able to get that to happen. And then Samiko, I know that inside of your Facebook group, you have live videos where you're helping women already who are asking questions about natural hair. Like, oh gosh, I just can't. You're just gonna make me snatch this wig off, Samiko. Stop it.
Snatch it off, girl. Snatch it
Yes,
off.
girl. Yes, I'm almost there. I'm having a call with you soon. We're
and you
getting there.
Him and you post your picture in the group, girl.
Yes.
Stunning. I don't even know why you got it on. Like, why
I
you got it on in the
know.
first place? You are beautiful.
Stunning.
So
Yes,
as soon
I
as
love
you
that
own
picture.
that natural, then we ain't got to worry about all that.
See, I needed to
And-
wait for your podcast to come out for me to feel. First of all, I needed to make sure my skin was right. Then I had to make sure that I thanked myself, and then I'm going to pull off the wig. So this is all in divine order right here.
Well,
Yes,
listen,
that's next.
Kim,
Yes.
listen. So
Yes.
I'm a legislator, and I got that law that's
Oh,
passed,
sweet.
right? Hair
Yes.
discrimination. So wherever you go, you cannot be discriminated against because of your hair. So we
Yes.
got everything all together for you. You just got to snatch it off.
I just got to snatch it off. Okay. Maybe one day soon I will snatch it, maybe when I build my viewership on my YouTube page to maybe
I got it.
10
For our-
people.
for our-
And then
for
we're just going to go little 10, just looking for 10 people. That's it.
Baby
When
steps.
that happens, then I'll go ahead. Yeah, we're going to do baby
Kim,
steps.
Kim, you
Yes.
got to do it for our launch party.
Oh, yeah, that would be nice. Oh, yeah,
That
that was a good idea. Maybe we could
Yes.
do that. Yes, I like that, Samiko. Okay, I'm thinking about it. I'm
So
thinking
if
about it.
everyone wants to see Kim with, with her natural hair and embracing it, then come to our launch party.
But you know what?
Exactly.
The beautiful thing about everything that you ladies do, though, it everything resonates with me personally. Every single thing. We all want to look better. We all want to feel our own flow for real. We want to look better. We need to take care of our skin. We need to be mindful of all of those things, no matter what age you are at. And I think, thanking yourself and appreciating yourself, that just starts and it builds you up as a woman. It builds you up as a person. And that's something that we do not do enough. And then for you, Samiko, this battle with this hair care journey for me has been years of a journey. Years of a journey. So I think that your messages and just constantly hearing your voices and everything that you're doing just to keep me feeling powered and yeah, you ladies are necessary. Your voices are necessary, and what you're saying is necessary not only to me but to a lot of people out there. Want to say hello to one of our other sisters, which is Rosalind. Hey, Rosalind. Yes, so Rosalind's coming along too. She's going to have her podcast, which is Self Care Queens. She's going to have that amazing podcast coming out soon. Also, want to say hello to Gail Ferguson Jones, who has her podcast is The Butterfly Effect,
Yes.
which is an amazing
Gail.
podcast. And she's going to be talking about recovery, and for those who are dealing with people with addictions and codependency, which is an amazing podcast as well. And then also Liz Santiago, she has her podcast now. It started off as the self-care talk with Liz Santiago, and now she's actually pivoted. It's something about this whole COVID-19 situation and us being in this pandemic situation that made us all kind of sit and think and kind of refocus. So she's launching out the Skin I'm In podcast as well. So if you look inside the group, you'll see the video, and I'll make sure to post it up in YouTube as well so that everybody can see the video. And Rosin says that I am so excited for everyone. And then we have someone else who is saying that Radiant Skin is so empowering, Melanie Benjamin, and it definitely is. All right, ladies. So now we talked about your podcasts. We talked about the process. Now, what is your advice to anybody who is interested in starting a podcast? What is the one or two pieces of advice you can give to them? All right,
Call
Samiko.
But don't do it without Kim Sumter. Don't even attempt to do it without Kimberly Sumter as your coach.
Oh, goodness. I didn't pay anybody.
No, seriously, she didn't. You know how many times I text Kim, I'd be like, I love you. Like, I love you. Like, seriously. Like, I have never had a coach or a teacher. And mind you, I'm an instructor. Angela, Kim, and I are all business instructors, right? Mm-hmm. And we're all great within our own rights as instructors. And so it was very interesting to be instructed by another instructor. Mm-hmm. And I honestly have never had anyone, Kim, coach me or teach me and take that, like the interest that you've taken in each one of us to make sure that we truly succeed, and not just succeed, but thrive. Like, I've never had that before in my life. And I kept telling my husband, like, oh my gosh, like he would be like, all right, enough, Samiko, like, all right, because I'm just, I cannot believe, seriously. Like, and I am forever thankful and grateful. And just because you gave me 150%, I feel like I have to make this work. Like, that is my gratitude to you, to show you how thankful I am for the time that you have taken. Every call, every question, my phone, I lost my phone. Kim was like, don't worry, I got you. Like, she just made sure. So if you really want to do this and you want to do it to the best, then definitely have Kim as your coach. Definitely take her class. And I guarantee you will come out an emerging podcaster.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And, this journey was, it was a learning experience for all of us, right? It was a great learning experience. You ladies, I have to give you 150% of the credit because you were all in. You were all in, and you made it easier for me to be able to do what I do. And thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. So, Melanie, tell me what it felt like when your podcast landed in Apple. What was that feeling like?
Oh my God. I literally started to cry. I started to cry because I could not believe it. I did not think that my podcast was.
Oh, I think Melani's freezing up on us. Oh no. Is she okay? There she's coming. She's coming back. Okay. Melanie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. You can finish your statement.
Oh, I said that it made me feel so official. Like, I felt official. I felt like This is something that I really wanted for so long, and I just felt so grateful that I was a part of the process with you, and that you were like, an empowering mentor. Because I don't think I would have been able to do it. It probably would have still been sitting there, the trailer that I originally started with. So.
All right. And what about you, Angela? What was that feeling? Because I got a whole bunch of wows. Oh my goodness. Oh my wows. Oh wow. Yes, I got an email that was shouting to the mountaintops when you got into Apple. So tell me
Oh
about
my
it.
gosh. So first of all, again, I saw Samiko get in. I saw Milani get in. I'm like, okay, what about me? So I tried to do it. I called Kim. I emailed Kim, like, Kim, can you help me out? She's like, yes, no worries. Then I get the email that your podcast was approved. I'm like, yay! So I'm in Apple. So I'm like, oh my gosh, Apple approved me. So I mean, it is official. It is official because I'm in Apple. So I'm just, I couldn't thank Kim enough. And I want to just second everything that Samiko said about Kim. If you want to start a podcast, please, please, please reach out to Kim. Because let me tell you, I'm a night hawk because I'm working all day, and then my brain sometimes start working at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm up doing the admin stuff that I can't do throughout the day. And I'm doing this, 30-day launch. And I email Kim, not thinking that she would email me back. I'm just trying to hit turned in, right, for the classwork. And then she starts sending me messages back. I'm like, oh, okay. So don't ever reply back to me in the middle of the night because I'm going to reply back to you. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So she's up. She's helping me 2:30 in the morning. And then when we get up in the morning, remember, ladies, we have these videos that Kim greets us with in the morning. And one morning she said, I'm up, ladies, but I'm not feeling well, but I had to do this video. Mm-hmm. So when I saw that, and Kim, you weren't feeling well, but yet you still was dedicated to your students. That was it. That's the icing on the cake. Aww. So because you didn't think about yourself, you thought about, listen, I need to get these ladies rolling, moving continuously, and you were there. So thank you, Kim. And just being an Apple iPad, Apple Podcast, I'm like, all right, I'm official. Okay. And I will not let you fail like Samiko. I'm going to continue to make sure that my podcast is a success because of all the work that you have put inside me.
Yes. Oh, well, let me tell you how I felt, Kim. I felt like, you know how an artist, their song come on the radio for the first time? Yes. On the radio. I was like, you couldn't tell me my record didn't just drop on the radio.
Yes.
That's exactly how it feels. Yes, Tamika, that's exactly how it feels.
Yes.
Like, Apple, I made it to Apple. Oh, that's it. You can't tell me nothing.
That's when you know you are totally official. Yes, when you go onto that iPhone and you hit that Apple link for podcasts, and your name is sitting in there, and you can subscribe, and you can tell other people to subscribe. That is just the best feeling. And I have to say, I was my first subscriber. And I was still excited. I didn't care. I could care less. I could care less. So yes. Awesome. So you ladies are going to be celebrated on Friday because we are having our first official launch/listening party where everyone can hear your trailers, and we can talk podcasting, and we can kind of get to meet people, and we're going to have a whole bunch of people inside that space. So it's going to be a virtual ceremony, and I am going to drop the link down below, and I'm going to give an opportunity for 20 people to come and to be a part of it, and to come and support Milani and Gail and Samiko, Angela, and Liz Santiago, and even for all the other podcasters who are part of the program who are still coming along and getting all of their podcasts together, because it's so important for us to help each other and for us to support each other. Because if you're loving this message, then you definitely need to be a part of this community and what we're trying to do. And then also, ladies, can you tell us where we can find you? We know that we can subscribe to you in Apple, all of you. So I want every single person that is listening to this today to go into the Apple app, I want you to find the Thank Her Now podcast. I want you to find the Natural to Natural podcast. And I want you to find the Aesthetics and Flow podcast. And you won't be able to miss it because everybody has their face on their cover art. So you'll know exactly who they are. Okay. So there are no mistakes whatsoever if there are double names in there. And you go in there, and I want you to subscribe to the podcast. And I also want you to go in and give them 5 stars. And I want you to listen to their trailer episodes because they're going to tell you every single thing that you can expect when you listen to the podcast. And then I want you to tell 10 friends. So that is your
Aw.
job tonight. And then we're going to make that pool get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger because your messages are so important. They're so necessary. They were necessary before this pandemic. They were necessary before we were going through what we're going through currently in the state of the world. They have always been necessary, and they will always be necessary. So I'm going to wrap this up, and I'll let each of you just have your parting words and let everyone know where they can find you on your social media platforms and how they can connect with you. And we'll start with you, Melani. And then we'll go ahead and start with you, Samiko. See, Melani's not paying attention to me right now. Melani.
Can she hear
Okay,
you?
we'll start with you. She
Okay.
might not be able to hear me. Okay, go ahead, Samiko.
Okay, so I do have a Facebook group or a private Facebook group called Natural to Natural. You can also find me on Instagram at Miko New York LLC. That's my business name, and I do have a website, www.mikonewyorkllc.com. And then again, my podcast on Apple, also on Libsyn, all right, and I think on Stitcher as well. So those are the 3 platforms. And before I go, I would like to say, like, I'm a lessons person, so everything that I do in life, I always look for the lesson learned in it. And throughout this journey, there are 2 main lessons that I have learned throughout this journey. Because I'm a
Mhm.
perfectionist, and it was
Mhm.
hard for me to move forward because everything had to be perfect. But what Kim helped me to realize is that it's okay. Just find my authentic self, and I'll get
Mhm.
better and better and better as I go. So don't expect perfection for myself. And that has really helped me just with my flow and with the podcast and to move forward with it. The other thing is oh my goodness, I totally forgot. Sorry. The other lesson I learned was what was it? It was 2 lessons, but I'll come back hopefully to it. But yes,
Okay, and
but that
and
was the
yes,
first lesson.
and the perfection thing is hard for all of us. You know, we want it to sound perfect when we put something out because it has our stamp on it. It has our name on it. So we want it to be as perfect as it can be. But like everything else, podcasting is it is a medium where, you know, you get to amplify your message. You get to talk about the things that you want to talk about. And it is something new when you're doing it for the first time. And I tried to tell Samiko, hey, like if somebody came to me and said, you want to do a twist out, I'm sure it would not be perfect when I did it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
just give yourself that leeway and know that you will grow as you go with every single thing. And then
I got the
Melani,
thing now. Sorry.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
The second thing was, so I had this concept in my mind of what I wanted my podcast to be, but things weren't turning out the way that I wanted to. And typically, I would get frustrated or just give up, but I shifted. Right. And I just changed what it was because maybe this wasn't the route. Maybe there was another route. And in doing that, it really helped me to find my authentic self. So if you think that just because it's not going the way you thought it should, just like Milani with her
Mhm.
name, and she realized she just changed it or she just had to stop and find her, it was the same thing for me. I wanted to, like, for my first show, I said I was going to do an interview. So I was trying to find people to interview, Kim, remember, and I couldn't get anyone.
Mhm.
But it had me to
Mhm.
stop and say, you know what? Okay, maybe I just have to pivot and do something different. But I did. And I'm so glad that I did not give up and I continued along the
Mhm.
journey.
Mhm. Yes, yes. And Melani, what about? Can you hear us now, Melani?
I can hear
Okay,
you now.
good. Okay, good. So, and the question is, or the comment, actually is, can you let us know, or it is a question actually, let us know how we can get in contact with you. I know that your platform is Instagram,
Yes.
and you're doing a lot of work over there. So just let us know how we can connect with you further.
Okay. You can connect with me on Instagram at Aesthetics and Flow. And you can also connect with me in about a week at
Mhm.
www.aestheticsandflow.com.
Nice, very nice. And Angela, how about you?
Yeah, so you can connect with me on Facebook. I have a Facebook group, private group, Think Her Now. I'm also on Instagram, Think Her Now. And the website is www.thinkhernow.com. Please subscribe to my podcast on Apple, also
Mhm.
Libsyn and Stitcher.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And please sign up on my mailing list for on www.thinkhernow.com. And one of the things that I relearned is you if you want to do something, you will make the time to do it.
Mhm.
So I wear like 50 hats or more, and I really wanted to commit myself to launching this podcast. And it meant for me to be up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to get all of my tasks done. And within 21 days, it was done. So
Mhm.
you have to be committed to yourself. So I recommitted to myself to make sure that I did this. So thank you so much, Kim.
You are so welcome, and that is so absolutely true. If
Yeah.
you want it, you'll find a way to get it. And my back end story is that we, in the process of the whole time, from the beginning of the process to the end of the process, we lost 4 family members. So, a lot of things have been happening on all fronts, on all ends. But it was still important for me because we were in the midst of the class, that you guys were depending on me, and then we just had to work through that, which we were able to do, and I was able to do. So again, I really appreciate the effort that you put in. Had, and now here we are. Now here we are. So now you are literally in a place where you are not only able to say, I have a podcast, but you are able to really change people's lives. You're able to do something on a greater scale. And again, not just the people in your neighborhood, but women worldwide can listen to and consume your content and listen to your podcasts. So I thank you so much for that commitment. And Samiko, I was just letting everyone know we had a lot of stuff going on in between all of these weeks, but we were all able to do it. And like you said in a post that you posted today, is we did it. We
Yes.
did it.
Woohoo.
We
Yes,
did
we
it. We got it
did.
done. So,
Yes.
ladies, congratulations. I am
Thank you.
so super excited for you. I am so happy for us to have an opportunity to honor all of the hard work and all of the beautiful messages that you're putting out into the universe. And I'm also going to let people within the Sisters Connect group, if you're here, if you go into the comments and you say, yes, me. If you say that, right, the first 10 people, I will give you a pass so that you can get into our virtual ceremony and you can cheer the ladies on. And then you can also bring a friend with you as well, because we want to make it as full as possible. We want as many people. We just want to have fun. So just bring your beverage of choice, whether it's spritzer or wine or milk. If anybody's still drinking that, almond milk, whatever, for the vegans, whatever. Bring whatever floats your boat, and make sure that on your phone you have that. If you're not an Apple user, you don't already have that app on your phone, you download your Spotify or your Stitcher or whatever app you have for podcasts and be ready to download, subscribe, rate, give 5 stars and support. That's going to be the whole goal of what we're going to do on Friday. And for anyone who is interested in starting a podcast or growing a podcast, you can definitely reach out to me. There is a video down in the stream somewhere that I posted today. It is for the Podcasting Essentials for Beginners course. You can come on with me. I will teach you all that I know about podcasting. If you have a message that will inspire, educate, empower, entertain, if you have a message that will make someone in this world feel better and you want to get it out there and you don't know where to begin and you do want to have a podcast, then just give me a call and I am there to help. All right, ladies, I will talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yay. All right, everybody.
care.
Bye.
Bye.